The Metaverse, basically Facebook 2.0, everything together, Instagram, WhatsApp, and all these things. Our old friend and head of Instagram, Mosseri, seems to be very stoked about this. And if you ask me, looking at their vision of that whole thing, this kind of sounds like we're entering an episode of Black Mirror. Oh, hold on, we're already there. Forgot about the past 2 years. So let's talk about this, about my unfiltered opinion, what I think this might mean for the future of Instagram and social media as a whole, and why I sort of have a bad feeling about this. Now, to be honest, I don't really know what to think of it yet, but watching the whole presentation, I just had some weird gut feeling, some creepy vibes. I don't know about you. Maybe it's just because there's something wrong with this Zuckerberg dude. Don't ask me what, but something just feels off with this guy. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but let's start with the name. Metaverse. Sounds like a failed early 2000s social media platform if you ask me. And they're aiming really high. They want to become the Metaverse. What's a Metaverse? It's actually a virtual reality space in which users can interact with a computer-generated environment and other users. What? Why would I need this? Why would anybody need this? But this is literally what they're aiming for. Take all of the platforms that they own and sort of wrap them under this blanket and connect all of them. Sort of see some issues with that, which we're going to talk about in a second. But we've already started to see this whole thing in action with your Instagram Reels being able to be suggested on Facebook, for example, and with your Facebook Messenger being able to send you messages to Instagram DM. Now, obviously, this is probably not even the scratch of a surface what their vision might be, but it's a glimpse inside anyway. Now, there's one thing that I've noticed, and let me know what you think about it. Mosseri just did a Q&A about this whole Metaverse, and when being asked about them changing the name because of recent bad press, obviously he said no, but he slightly seemed nervous and looking away from the camera all the time.
No, we didn't. We are way too big, unfortunately, to change our name in a handful of weeks. We've been working on the rebrand for about 7 months now.
No, of course not. We're certainly not changing the name because of certain bad press and stuff. No. Anyway, Mosseri also said there will be more opportunities for creators to earn money. And we also know, for example, that they want to open up a sort of NFT marketplace within Instagram, looking at recent leaks and stuff like this. So another thing of the whole puzzle that slowly starts to make sense. Anyway, back to the presentation. Here is where I feel like it sort of gets creepy. Their whole vision of this whole thing, long term especially, it's all happening in VR. And let me know what you think about this.
Privacy and safety need to be built into the metaverse from day one. You'll get to decide when you want to be with other people, when you want to block someone from appearing in your space, or when you want to take a break and teleport to a private bubble to be alone. You're going to be able to...
I'm not sure, but I think you can do all of these things already in real life.
From the physical world into the metaverse, almost any type of media that can be represented digitally, photos, videos, art, music, movies, books, games, you name it. Now, lots of things that are physical today, like screens, will just be able to be holograms in the future. You won't need a physical TV, it'll just be a $1 hologram from some high school kid halfway across the world.
$1 hologram. We're going to talk about this. But, if you listen to this whole thing, for me, it doesn't really sound like it's just sort of a game. He's actually portraying this whole thing like this will be your life. Like, honestly, what?
I need some space, teleport myself into my own bubble. I can't stand the real world anymore. I need to block other people out because I want to disconnect from the real world.
I got some news to you. Maybe it's good every once in a while to go get away from all the screens. Just take yourself and nobody else and go for a walk, or just sit down somewhere, or just do whatever you want. Not saying that it couldn't be fun and this might be a cool thing every once in a while. I also do have a VR headset. And it certainly is fun from time to time. But this guy is sort of making it seem like this will be the main part of your life. If you need some time off, if you're just fed up or whatever, just hop into the virtual reality, just hop into the metaverse, and things will be fine. You can do whatever you want. And to me, just looking at this presentation, like I said, maybe it's just him being weird, but it seems to me like they want to keep you locked inside your homes, not ever having to go outside. No fresh air, no real human interactions, just exist in your own bubble for the rest of your life. No real sun, because you don't need a real sun. You don't need vitamin D, you don't need fresh air. For me, if I don't see the real sun, regularly, I just turn into something else. I just think it's bad for your mental health if you're just on the internet all day. I actually think the internet's a bad place. Anyway, this is where we get back into the $1 holograms and stuff like this. He mentioned that you can have virtual homes and that you can create them, invite people over, etc. And let me just say, I have a feeling that there may be some sort of NFT marketplace, digital thing marketplace where you can have some unique homes or unique items in your home, and that's gonna cost you. And I'm sure it's not gonna stay at this $1 asset that he just mentioned. Look at the CryptoPunk things, for example, right now. For example, do you want to have the one and only virtual Mona Lisa? Just hand me over 100 mil. By the way, I'm creating this as soon as it comes out. I will be the one to sell the one and only Mona Lisa. But yeah, I'm almost certain something like this will come eventually. This is where this whole NFT marketplace that's set to be integrated in Instagram will come in handy. Buy something on Instagram and you'll have it in your virtual home instantly. I'm not saying it's something bad. Obviously, especially artists or creators, it's actually a very good opportunity for creators to earn lots of money if you build your community right, which you should have been doing anyway up until this point. But now is the time to actually start doubling down on it if you want to have a piece of the pie once this whole thing comes out, I guess. And this is where this whole thing that doesn't really get talked about comes into play. It's the whole control of information in general. And don't forget, this is already a thing, obviously, Facebook, this huge company, controlling, having lots of leverage. But they said they want to expand on that even more, talking about, fake news, talking about misinformation and things like that. But here's the thing where it gets problematic. Who says what's misinformation and what's not? Who actually gets to decide? And why do people even have to decide to put a label on, well, this is misinformation, and with certain things not even want to have a open discussion about some things? Not everything is just black and white. It's actually more. It's 50 shades of gray, like some women once told me. But this is kind of a complicated topic, and it feels like you're not supposed to talk about it. Taking a look at the internet as a whole. But they said they want to become bigger than Google with all of its products, and they want to link your whole professional work life, your private life, the whole entertainment aspect, basically your second life, which they sort of feel like they wanted to become your primary life or something like this. But basically they all want to have this in this metaverse, sort of being your virtual identity, which is interesting. And which is probably a natural step of this whole internet thing. But especially seeing recent developments. If you said something 25 years ago that upsets somebody today, you're gonna pay for it apparently. Like I said, big corporations, being able to control information and stuff like this, we really gotta be careful with that. Because, like I said, right now we're already sort of at a point where an open discussion is not really welcome with certain things anymore, which I'm totally not a fan of. Whatever this might be, we need to come together, we need to talk, we need to understand the 50 shades of gray. But yeah, so let me know what you think about this whole metaverse. Are you confused? I am still confused, but I guess time will tell. I guess we're gonna see. Seems like it's getting really complicated with social media in the future.